Boom. Welcome to any and all that are watching. I'm Ryan Wynn. This is Late Night Inks. First time we're doing it live. It's going to be a little similar to what I was doing this afternoon, because if you caught me this afternoon, I was working on this commission. But now we're going to be breaking into some of the details using a brush marker that I happen to really like. Zebra Sensations. Let's see if we can see the zebra logo there. Zebra. Oh, hey, Colin. What's up, brother? You got everyone checking out for Quaco pictures. Uh-oh. I am sure they are having a good time over there on Rooster Puncher's channel. Colin's talking about the Death Curse crew. Anyone listen to this? I'm talking about Rooster Puncher's channel. Look them up. Go check it out. It's Spencer Desmond, Jeff and Kayla hanging out, talking all kinds of nonsense. I want to get us closer. I want to get the camera closer. I want to be closer to you guys. Oh, hey, Merc. I see Merc there, too. What's up, brother? And a Jobu. Jobu's got us and Rooster going. All right. You know what? You can watch me and listen to them. All right. I think this will work out good. Let's get the lights right. Yeah, I think this will do just fine. All right, Christopher John, good evening. Dark Admiral March Hare, just popping in to give a thumbs up. Thank you, brother. Hope all is well. And away we go. I will be catching up on the chat after a few minutes, but we're going to get started on our G.I. Joe Boy commission. Now, years ago, you wouldn't have been caught dead using any kind of marker on professional work or especially a commission. But these days, the ink is so good and the pens are so good that I found one I really like. And these zebra pens are very similar to the Tombow pens. Excuse me. Sort of a soft felt brush. What I like about these ones is they have a sharp point, but once that point actually wears off, it's got like a secondary sharp point that's almost like a pencil lead that you can bend and get bold lines with, and that's what I like about it. Now, even though I'm doing the hands and face and stuff, as I move around the piece, I'll see little areas that I want to beef up. Beef up or clean up. All right, we got one hand down. All right, I see Simon and Seven. What's up, brother? Good to see you. When I take a break here, I should get some beats from Institute 91 going in the background. I should have a link for them too. All right, this is probably not the only thing we're going to be working on tonight. I have a Captain Marvel Shazam piece that I would like to whip out. So we're going to do a little work on here, and then we're going to take a look at that piece. So if you had seen the video before, you may have heard me say that this is actually a recreation of a commission I did and then subsequently lost in the mail. But instead of being bummed about it, I am taking the opportunity to excuse me, make it better. Because I was really happy with the original piece, but just like with anything, most of us artists, we focus in on the imperfections and the things that we don't like about stuff. And there were aspects of the face and hands that I didn't like, and I'm actually really happy to be able to have the chance to fix it up. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading the chat now. Let's see who's here. Hey, we got 11 people. What's up? Oh no, they're watching. Yes, Colin. All brushes and pens shall be whipped out. I assume that's what you mean. Whip out them brushes, them pens, of course. And we'll get to say hi to Jeff and Kayla over on Death Curse. What's up, guys? Yeah, March. I never know what's going to happen. Yes. March has been around. March is one of my homies. He was around for the original. Yeah, it is a bummer, but like I said, I always try to find the silver lining on stuff, and this gave me a chance to recreate a piece without any of the little excuse me problems that the last one had. Go super clean on this face. He's not really super chiseled. He's kind of a corn-fed Midwest boy. He's got that rounder jaw. It's kind of how I picture like Clark Kent. I always picture Clark having softer features over, say Bruce Wayne. Look at this other paper. I had another sheet under there. It's making too much noise. Oh, I see. Whip out your Captain Marvel stuff. Okay. The original is smooshed between a bunch of voting folders. Oh, that would be funny. There's some sort of court case that comes out of some hidden ballots that were found, and they find my commission in there. All right, so I'm gonna be a little bit quiet here as I focus on the eyes. He said right before starting to talk. So I am going to outline the eyebrows. I don't think I'm going to shade them in. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to wait to decide if I want to draw in hairs or if I want to shade them in black. On the original, I shaded them in and then I added a shadow under his brow above his eyeball. And while technically it was correct and it was the right kind of shadow, to me it just looked like his eyebrows went from up here down to his eyeballs. And the commissioner was happy with the piece. Didn't see that as weird, but it just, oh man, it really bugged me. And I can usually let stuff go, but I don't know. This particular commissioner is, I'm friends with him, and he has commissioned a couple of really interesting, cool pieces. And I want these to be as interesting and cool and unique and the best that I can bring for my collectors. All right, I'm gonna hit the mouth first. Get in frame. This dude is determined. He's got all this chaos going on around him. And he is stepping into the chaos. I think I said unfettered and focused. All right, top brow, and then the little bloopity, and then top, or not brow, top lid. And then the bloopity thing, that thing that goes in on your eye, I just call it a bloopity. Top of the bottom lid, it's gonna make sure we line these up. Go really light with the pen. I'm just gonna do some wispy lines for the shape of the eyelids. And then I'm going to go in and do the iris. Normally I work outward on this one, or normally I work pupil outward and I line them up, but I spent a lot of time in the pencils lining those up, and I wanted to get these arches right first before I line the iris up. There we go. He's bold, he's brave, he's determined. This is a little bit of hair peeking out from under the helmet where it comes down and wraps around the ear. We're going to do a little bit of rendering here. The neck muscles wouldn't really make a difference on his jacket, and his muscles wouldn't make a difference here in reality, but I'm going for heroic, like sort of heroic proportions. Hail Lord Crackhead 33, I see you there, buddy. What is up? Thank you for stopping by. And, as always, hail the chat. Let's see, checking out some words from the peoples. Commissions are wild to me because I never quite know what I want, and then how much input am I meant to give other than a bunch of kaiju at a bus stop. Yeah, that's with each artist, it's a little different, and you know, with each commissioner, it's a little different. Sometimes people have a list of specific things they want, or they even have an image in their mind. In this particular case, this guy didn't have this image in his mind, but he just wanted a heroic doughboy in battle. And I had done a Virginia Mountaineer for him in a very similar pose. But I kind of wanted to make them be almost brother sister pieces. And he liked that idea, so we went with that. But I've had people who have very specific commissions that they want from me, and I've had people that just want a character and run wild with it. Usually I just tell people to be as open and honest with the artists as much as you can. You know, let them know what you want. You are sort of a customer. Don't treat it like, I mean, a lot of artists are going to treat it like they're the artistes with an E at the end and be like, you know, you get what you just give me money and I'll give you what you get. And I don't know. I don't like that. I wouldn't be inspired to create something cool with that attitude either. But that's just me. All right, I'm going to say going weird. I'm going to do this helmet freehand. I didn't really like the way any of my templates lined up to it. And this brush is giving me a good vibe right now, so we're gonna find this is the curve we got here, but luckily it's broken up by the ear and the strap, so you only have to go that far. It's a little bit of a tangent. I'm gonna kind of work on that, build up the ear. And here, but even though it's broken up by these objects, you still want a through line feel. So I'm gonna line it up, but I'm gonna start here and then break it up with some rendering as it wraps around his head. There we go. And then let's see, we're gonna start here and do this underside like that. And I don't recommend this to many young creators, but I'm going to meet my line here. Instead of extending my line, I'm gonna do this like that. And then here we can extend this line here. So remember, when you're extending a curved line, start on the part you already have, even though I just did the opposite, but this is sort of the technique on how to make that work. I'm gonna have it broken there for a little bit of light. And then keep wrapping it around. And this one, we're just gonna do one big swoop like that. And then we're gonna catch the helmet's it's not like a perfect C shape. There's a little bit of a swoop. And then it swoops back down over there. And there we've got our helmet in our hands. Hey, Tie Ion Ranger, what is up, brother? Oh, I can't make you a wrench from here. Ty's supposed to be my wrench. Says I can put him in timeout or block him. But we won't do either of those. Anyways, everyone say hey to Ty. Ty's a good buddy. Colin, again, yeah, I know what you mean. Head like my ability to draw has improved quite a bit from copying Ryan's inks. Oh, hey, right on. I thought that was going to be about giving commissions and stuff, but oh, right on, Lord Crackhead. All right, I like the inking streams, Ryan. They've been helping me with my inking skills a lot, man. Glad I could catch this one live. Yeah, welcome. This is my first live one too. So yeah, it's fun to be able to do this. I just wish I had more controls through here because I'm just using my phone right now to do StreamYard. So one more thing we're going to do before I whip out that Captain Marvel is we're going to do, let's see, this is the barbed wire that is wrapped around here. I just want to find the right flow. So that one wrapped around once, and then it'll come around here like that. And then we'll put some around this other piece of wood here. Barbed wire is no fun. I have, when I was young and we used to try to sneak into places, I got caught on some barbed wire a few times. Just goofing around, we were trying to like get into the Frito-Lay's factory that was by our house as kids because there was a giant dumpster of misprint chips. Was the wives' tale or the suburban legend was the urban legend, whatever suburban legend was that they had a dumpster full of basically free chips, but free meaning you had to break into the grounds of the Frito-Lay factory. And we got caught and sent home because we were just idiot kids. But I did have one friend try to pretend that he didn't speak English to the excuse me, to the cops. He tried to pretend he was a German foreign exchange student and that they should just let him go. That was pretty funny. All right, doing some shading here, but whatever. You guys don't want to see that. You want me to whip out that Captain Marvel. So here we go. I may have to pull back the camera for a second. Here we go. This is a biggie. A little bit more. Sorry, there, giant arm shot of me. So this is Shazam sketch cover. I've got two of them. And when you got them like this, there is Billy Batson. And oh wait, sorry, Lord Crack, I didn't mean to keep you highlighted for so long. There we go. Like I said, still learning this stuff. Still learning this. You charge by the piece or by the hour? Usually by the piece. Bolt cutters. Hey, take care, March. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, we're always here for you, buddy. Justin H is here. Right on, Justin. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so I'll catch up again in a few minutes. Billy Batson penciled here. Just a rapscallion. He looks like a sweet kid, but he's probably picking your pocket. And he's gonna have a word balloon here where he starts to say Shazam. And then here we've got Captain Marvel himself, or Shazam, whatever you want to say. And then, well, when you open them up, you've got the old wizard, who's really supposed to be Shazam, but they call Captain Marvel Shazam now. Whatever. You've got the old wizard in the temple, and he's going to have word balloons, saying the 6 names that make up Shazam. Then you got Billy. He's going to say Sha. And then you've got this lightning bolt on this side with the Zam in it. I think I need to pull back further. Lock these into place because it's basically 4 images like that. I got told if you ever got struck by lightning, shout Shazam, and you'll totally get superpowers. That's what my grandma used to tell me. So there we go. Yeah, I've yet to be able to test it out. I've been electrocuted a couple times, but I didn't yell Shazam, I'll tell you what. So I'm going to start working on this tonight. We're going to go probably for maybe another 20 minutes or so. We're going to see how far we can get. I think we can finish this figure, maybe 30. But here, let me lock the camera in place again. Put Shazam away. Put Shazam away and get a marker out. I think I'm going to bring the camera back in a little bit so we can get a good view of this little figure we're going to be inking. Let's see, the shadows aren't so bad. Who took bites off the wizard's throne? That's actually kind of what I was thinking of. Like maybe one of the statues of the monsters. I can't think of them. The 7 sins, the 7 deadly sins. So this little guy, I am going to start with his pupils first. I'm going to see if I can get us in even closer. Hold on. Let's see. This guy's tiny. He's only this big. He's only that big, guys. All right, so we are going to start with, he's got little dark irises. Don't have to give much detail, but I do want them lined up. And I'm sort of giving them like a reversed J shape. Kind of hint that there's a little bit of light reflecting off them. And then we're going to go in kind of heavy with the brow. But whether you're working digital or traditional, you don't want to get lost in detail at this size. You want to hit all the right notes, which isn't helpful at all, but you want to focus more on shapes and shadows. I mean, I've got some lines here. He's not too in shadow, but nose and nostril, but that's it. I'm not doing any sort of rendering on that nose or anything like that, because that'll just sort of gray up and muck up that area. There we go. Here we're going to get his cheekbone. We'll give a little beefy line there, and then we're going to do the underlid, the lower eyelid, the underlid. No one's ever called it that till now. All right, now we're going to go really light on these folds on the forehead. Because he is yelling at Billy. It's like, you stupid kid. Say all them names, kid. Get yourself some nice powers, a new suit, a cape. But it's a fancy short cape. All right, and here, not too much detail on the beard either. You want to give some beardo lines, but you don't want to give too many. And when you're working digital, you can get totally trapped zooming in. Do a bunch of stuff, you zoom out, and then not only is it not noticeable, it kind of looks weird. Because when you look at, say, a photo from a sports game, but maybe one from last year or the year before where there used to be an audience, and when you see the crowd in the background, you can tell they're people and you can tell where the head and the arms are and stuff like that, but there aren't a bunch of details. And if there were, it would be hard for your eye to like focus on the image. Oh, Colin loves sports ball. Yeah. Who doesn't? We got some golf chat going on. There was a golf joke? Extra. The only golf joke, I gotta read this first before I put it up. Okay, that's solid. The only golf joke I know was carry an extra pair of socks in case you get a hole in one. Boppity bop. All right. So speaking of golf, I've been watching Holy Moly. Is that what the show is? I don't know. It's a miniature golf show. It's got like some sportscaster and Rob Riggle hosting it. I thought it was going to be really stupid, and it actually turned out to be really fun. Kind of reminded me of the old MXC challenge on Spike TV. All right, so now we're going to do our dude's hair. I'm going to look at switching up to maybe a slightly sharper pen. I got a few of these different ones in different amounts of wear and tear. This one looks a little sharper. I feel like I may have worn that last one out on our doughboy. So I can close up this cover. Okay, so here we go on the hair. It's a little bit too much of a shadow. Let's do that. So I'm going to be meeting these lines at the back of his ear. So I position myself, line up at the back of the ear, then go to the end of the hair and see, when you get really good, the pen, it just makes those noises when you're inking. When you ink really fast and when you do it perfect, it makes a noise. Here, see we go. All right, sorry, I'm gonna stop doing that. So even though I just warned you guys, don't get lost in detail. I was almost about to really get in there where the hairs meet his brow and start breaking up some lines and doing some little things, and that would have been a mistake. All right, there's our wizard. It's funny, his head looks much bigger through the camera than it does in person. It might be the tilt or something. Ryan doing the Parappa the Rapper sound effects from PS1. Is that what that is? And Colin says, the only sport I've started getting into is watching professional tabletop war gaming. I watched a few videos on YouTube of people that have remote controlled tanks, and they do that. That was pretty nutty. And by nutty, I mean pretty fun to watch, actually. All right, here's his toga folds. I'm giving our bad boy a big old, like, used to be superhero belt. Around his toga. Whoops, sorry, hit the camera there. Didn't mean to send you guys rocking. All right, and he's got his little hands here. Again, you don't want to get caught in too much detail. It's okay if your pencils have more lines because you got to figure out where to put all the knuckles and the fingertips and all that stuff. But you can always simplify when you ink. All right, I'm gonna do both hands and get the hands done. So I used to love all kinds of sports when I was a kid, and then it mostly was a basketball focus. And then I fell out of watching regularly. I actually wasn't a fan of Kobe Bryant. I was a huge Laker fan my entire life, and I didn't like Kobe's attitude, and I stopped watching. I tried to become a Clippers fan, and I basically just fell off the fan wagon because I couldn't get into the Clippers. And then I started watching old games from the NBA and oh man, I forget the American Basketball Association. Somebody had a bunch of old games on YouTube, and that was actually a blast to watch because man, old basketball used to be crazy rough, like rough and tumble, violent game, and pretty exciting stuff too. Let me get back in frame. Sorry. Well, Ty, you know that none of my stuff is rules that I'm putting out there. They're just possibilities, brother. Yeah, I like doing late night inks live. This is going to be fun. So we'll make this my first live project. We'll work on this all week. This 4-piece Captain Marvel bit. And like I said in an earlier video, which some of you may have missed, I am going to be doing bringing a character of mine back named Abe Balderman, character I do, and he's going to be reporting on comic news, indie comics news, and stuff like that. And I think I'm going to have him do some like fun interviews with people and bring attention to campaigns and indie books that we like and that we think could use a little extra attention. All right, this is our Toga wrap. Again, keeping it simple, a couple heavy lines here and there just to give a little dimension. There we go. All right. So now we're going to get into these knees. I tend to do like basically triangles for knees. I keep it really simple. Sometimes I'll add just a couple extra little lines like that. That works as a knee for me, but I just keep them really simple like that. All right, this is his toga. This is where I gotta make sure I'm thinking properly about layers. It's coming off his right knee, and it's going up and over to his left knee, so we're going to have some foreshortening here. Or some overlap, I should say. This is not foreshortening, this is overlap. His legs are an example of foreshortening coming at you. But the way these layers of his toga are literally overlapping is why that's called overlapping. And if you are a keen observer, you will notice that I sometimes switch from holding the pen like this to holding the pen like this. And that is merely an exercise I do to keep my hand from getting too stiff in one position or too tight one way. Sometimes you can create different strokes by holding it differently too, but with these pens, I just switch it up so my hand doesn't get too tired. Okay, almost done with the old man here. Kind of want to do, got to do his leg wrap booties. Vince Coletta. Rumor has it Vince Coletta was gangster, like New York gangster. Be a shame what happens to some of your pencils if someone else would have inked them, Mr. Kirby. Somebody got mad at me for doing a Jack Kirby impression once because he was dead. So I hope nobody gets mad at me for doing a Vinny Coletta. Oh, Vinny Coletta. I don't know why I've got this guy in like leg wraps, but it seemed appropriate. So again, always line up your shot. Put your pen where you want to end the line, then take it where it should start and return it. All right, now I may come back in after I do the chair and do some rendering on him and stuff, but I want to see how the balance between him and the chair works out first. So now changing position like this because I'm going to be throwing the line instead of pulling the lines. What you can do, you don't have to have a singular way that you make markings. When I worked for Danny Mickey, everything he did was pulling in the lines like this, like pulling them towards you. And then when I went to work with Joe Weems, everything he did was pushing away from me like this. And he held the pen differently. Neither one was right, but they both taught me like, oh, this is how you do it. And I was just like, that's a way to do it. So then when I went on to The Darkness, which was my first solo, like big solo project, I really incorporated both of those techniques. I would tend to use Joe's techniques on figures and Danny's techniques on backgrounds. After all, I had been Danny's background assistant for years and years. So it was just second nature. But even on the figures, there was some going back and forth between the two styles. And it got me a Harvey nomination for Best Inker, but I did not win. All right, so these are, you know what? I forgot. Yeah, I got to make sure these have more. Let's see. Looks like something took a bite out of the chair. At one point, or maybe a couple times throughout history. The chair's a little gnarled and beaten up. So now I'm going to pull these shots towards me. Give them a little bounce. They're going to be a little heavier. They're on the shadow side. And then we're going to get a little bit Wrightson-y with stuff here. Sorry, I hit the camera there again. Still getting used to the setup. So by Wrightson-y, I mean Bernie Wrightson, and I mean we're gonna not attempt to be anywhere near his level, but he had a way of doing this fun rendering on things, and I'm gonna try and mimic that. Did they call it rendering even before computers? Yes, yes they did, because you're rendering form. Yeah, that long before that, I've seen that in many an old art book. Oh, and also when I traveled back in time, that's how they talked. All right, so I have my own approach to kind of how I do this rendering. I don't try to make it look exactly like Bernie, but if you've ever seen his Frankenstein work, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. And when I started working for Danny, he was going through a phase of studying this stuff, and that was kind of fun to be around. So you follow the form, but you also let your line kind of go its own direction, and then switch it up, almost like it's been wrapped up in multiple layers of tape. That's kind of how I used to think of it. And I'm going to get thicker and thicker with the lines as we go up. And here, this is the armrest. That's going to continue up behind him here. I'm going to do really bold lines here. Change direction one more time. And get really, really bold up to solid black here. So just a simplified kind of fun bending of your lines rendering. And we're going to continue up here. We're going to do some thin to thick lines as each of these little chunks falls into shadow at the top. Thin, 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 thick. Thin, 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 thick. Thin, 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 thick, thick. And then let's extend that a little. There we go. Now we're going to play a little bit. Sorry, I'm having trouble talking with my head at this angle. We're going to play a little bit with the light source too. So he's stamping down his lightning bolt-headed staff, and there's going to be a little bit of light emitting from there. So he has a cast shadow here. This will be his arm. This will be his head. And his other shoulder. I didn't like the shape I initially drew in there. So now we're gonna whip some thin to thicks. And it's okay to break that line a little bit because it's not supposed to be a perfect shadow. It's just supposed to be sort of representing the soft edge of his cast shadow here. And I am gonna color this piece eventually. So we'll give his knee a cast shadow here, more than I did there. So we'll do that. Have it come down, and his foot will have a shadow too. And I may have to go in and mess with these lines again. May have to beef some up. Never afraid to beef up lines. All right, so I had a shadow originally from, it looked like I was top lighting him, and he had this shadow there, but that's not going to be there. But we are going to do this leg shadow here. Like that. And we'll give it a little bit of direction like this to kind of represent where that burst of light is coming from and creating the shadow thusly. Boom. And then, let's see, we're going to do similar thing here. I don't like what I had penciled. This is the inside of his other arm on his beat up old throne. There we go. Yeah, I may end up doing an all black kind of shadow around him. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Well, anyways, I think that's where we're going to call it tonight. It's been just over 45 minutes. We got more done on our Doughboy over here. We're going to take a look at him again really quick. Look how proud he looks. He's happy with the inks. I'm happy with the inks. His hands are looking good. He's not going to drop that rifle. He's looking strong. We have our old wizard Shazam looking out for our kid Billy, looking out for you, looking out for me. Is that a really baggy diaper? Dang. I might have to work on that because I want his diaper to look tight, you know? No baggy diapers. Damn. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't checked out Hammerella, there is a link below. We just added 16 pages to the book of glorious Dean Cott's art. Got an example here really quick I can show you. So there was It Came Out on a Wednesday story from Gods and Gears, or from Alterna. It was our first Gods and Gears story. Pull back a little. And we are going to be including this in the back of Hammerella. First time it's not been on newsprint, and it's going to be remastered. And we're also going to have Dean do an intro and sort of an outro to the book, like an epilogue and a prologue, or prologue and an epilogue, if you will, of brand new art that's going to be included in the Hammerella book. So we've got 64 plus pages now, and you can check that out in the link below. We got 25 days left, and we're just about 80%. Here's a great page. Here's one you guys will like. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching again. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the questions. I'm sorry if I missed any. I will try to be more diligent about that and get on top of everything as I get used to doing this. So we will be back tomorrow. We'll do something new. We'll continue this, and maybe we'll be working on the Billy side of it. I'll break out the brush and we can do that. So until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take it easy.